don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well.
Check 52. 65.
On first down, Garoppolo. And his first pass is incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing now is Garoppolo. His throw incomplete. A quick look here at the Patriot defense.
Jaworski Tartt came out of Samford University in Alabama, and he is a guy who is an absolute flash at the safety position.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And that's incomplete. So the defense able to get off.
Ready. 60 Pittsburgh. Right here. Big dribble.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Let's get that ball here. Right here. Let's go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Casey. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards to pick up there.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Casey, that's complete to Dissly, the tight end. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Cook following the penalty, able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
It's a gain of 7 on the ground. 2nd down coming up.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Who that? Check 26.
Off play action. Casey. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Ready.
Throwing on 1st down. Casey gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up,
On 1st and 10. Casey. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
To throw on second down. Casey over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Operating from the gun. Casey, short throw to Disley. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
Daniel Carlson on for the field goal. A 47-yard attempt.
And this one is right down the middle. And the Patriots jump out to a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. On second down, it's Jordan, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Here we go.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lawrence Guy gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. After the sack on first down, Garoppolo. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. Open man is heard. It's complete. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A good spot to throw, and indeed they'll come out with 4 wide receivers here on 2nd and inches. There's Garoppolo to throw, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games. I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line. On first down, Jordan, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
A throw over the middle taken in. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 15-yard line.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? 49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or 2. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy.
And he will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Gold with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that one a 13-play drive in total, and it's polished off by a touchdown.